Hello everybody, I'm just coming in a few minutes early because I know that it takes Facebook a while to let you all know that I'm here. So just come in, soak up the ambience, got some nice relaxing music going, and I've got my candle lit, which is the candle that I generally light every morning as part of my morning practice to connect to the wider world and the universe and get my guidance for the day. Okay, so I'm just going to share this video out as well. Perfect. So I'm just going to let you enjoy some peaceful music just while we wait for anybody to jump online. Use this time to get comfortable. So I'm going to do 5 minutes talking at the beginning, and then we're going to do about a 10-minute journey together. So you won't need to look at me, you won't need to be able to see me, you'll just need to be able to hear me. Okay, so don't panic too much about being able to see me on the screen. Literally just make sure that you can hear my voice. Okay, so this might be the time now when you find a nice quiet part of the house, or maybe you can just find a quiet corner where you can be on your own. Maybe if you've got some headphones, put some headphones in. Really just get the logistics set up now, because when we start the journey you're not going to want to be disrupted wherever possible. Okay, so there's a few people jumping on now. I think David's just on. Can you just confirm that you can hear me okay and you can hear the music? Just check that that's all okay. Right, so I felt really called to do this session with you this evening, really because this week there's definitely been a collective, energetic vibe that's been going on that I feel has really started to affect people. There's been a real sense of an increase of stress and tension and heightened emotions, and it's starting to play out in terms of relationships and dynamics and how people are communicating with each other. So I felt really inspired last night to put together a session for you all about finding calm in the chaos. I'm just going to turn the fire on. I feel like my 17 years experience in the wellbeing industry as a counsellor and a coach and a therapist has prepared me very well for times of chaos. And so I really feel like I want to share as much of that experience and that knowledge with you as possible to help you right now. I have a whole list here of about 3 or 4 different exercises that I can show you relating to anxiety and stress and finding that calm. But where I'm at today is that I really want to dive deep into these techniques with you because they are really powerful. So I think what I started as me doing this one live session tonight is probably going to turn into a series, because that's going to enable us to take one technique each lesson, and it enables us to go really deep with that technique and really extract all of the juicy goodness from it, rather than flitting over quite a few techniques and then not really hitting the mark. So let's dive in, shall we, for our first session. So I'm going to do about 5 minutes talking, okay, just to go over the basics, and then I'm going to guide you through a 10-minute journey. So just get yourself somewhere comfortable, somewhere quiet if possible, and we'll get started. Please let me know if you're here. Drop me a hi in the comments, hello if you'd like to, and if you've got any questions or anything as we go through, drop those in the comments as well. So the first thing that I want to start with is the idea that absolutely everything in the world and the universe is energy. You, me, nature, all of the stuff in the world, it's all energy. Okay, now you will know and experience this because you have it. It's that sensation you feel when you walk into a room and you sense an atmosphere. Now that might be, you know, a really happy, amazing, lively atmosphere, or it might be like, what on earth have I just walked into? Now, what you're sensing and what you're detecting from that is energy. Okay, so you all have experience of that. You all know what that's like to have that experience of picking up and detecting energy. Okay, so what's going on right now is that we are in a worldwide event, okay, and it's unprecedented. So what's happening is that we are undergoing huge collective energies. So if you imagine what it's like when you walk into a room full of, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 10 people, what that energy feels like. We're working on a global basis here where there's millions and millions and millions of people, and we have this huge collective energy. And there is, I always feel like at the moment it's on either end of the spectrum. So we have that collective energy of fear and panic and stress, and then we have this collective energy of love and compassion and community and all of this good stuff. And we have a choice about which one of those we tune into. Okay, if you think about some of the news stories that come out in terms of, you know, the panic and everything that can be created from that, we have a choice whether we tune into that energy or whether we tune into the energy of all of the good news stories of how communities are coming together and how neighbourhoods are working together like they've never done before, and the creativity that's coming out of people at this time to support one another. So we have a choice about which of these energies we tune into. Okay, and I'm just going to guide this through you. I know it's going to be the opposite way around for you because of the camera, but this is something called the emotional scale. If you Google it, there'll be tons of information on there. But it essentially just goes through a whole list of emotions. Now, I don't believe there's any good and bad emotions. All emotions are valid. This is to do with how it feels for you in your body. Okay, so almost at the bottom of the scale, we have things like fear and depression. So just take a moment to imagine now what that feels like for you in your body. You know, if you're depressed and you're sad and you're anxious, you feel closed in and locked up, and you know, you don't have any energy. You know, your energy reserves are way down. And then as we gradually work up through worry, irritation, frustration, and then we move into happiness and hopefulness and joy and freedom and love, we can see how we feel lighter, how we feel more full of energy, how we feel like we can come from a place of like real excitement and drive and giving when we come into those emotions of love and joy and freedom. So what I am going to do with you this evening is to help you navigate that emotional scale. So our aim today is to take you from a place of fear or depression or anxiety, stress, all of those kinds of emotions that feel like they can take a grip on us, and then we're going to move up the scale to find this place of love. Okay, so that's what we're going to do this evening. Right, so to get started, I just really want to set the scene of your imagination is the most incredible tool, and it can work with you or it can work against you. Okay, so you know, when you think about your imagination as a kid and you use it to play and you create all these amazing fantasy worlds that you can get lost in, you know, your imagination is incredible. Your imagination also can work against you when it comes to things like fear and anxiety and panic, because it has the capacity to create endless and endless and endless scenarios that feed the fear and panic and anxiety. So what we want to do is actually dictate what we're going to use our imagination for, because honestly, you are so much better off spending that time imagining much better and positive scenarios than you are negative, horrible scenarios. Do you see? The time's going to pass either way, but it's going to have a profound effect on how you feel. One is going to drive that feeling of fear and panic and depression, and the other one is going to drive you up to the feelings of love and freedom and joy. Okay, time's going to pass either way, so we might as well use our imagination for the good of ourselves and for everybody around us. So, two things before we get started with the exercise. The first thing I'm going to show you is something called anchoring. Now, this is an NLP technique, which stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it's where we're all about reprogramming the mind. So, anchoring, you'll be doing this all the time anyway. The most powerful anchors we have in our lives are like our sense of smell and our sense of hearing. So right now you would have an anchor, say, for something like the smell of your favourite dinner that your gran used to cook for you, or your perfume that you wore when you were 16 and you went to your first first party. We create anchors all the time, and I know I've experienced when I've walked down the road and I've passed somebody who wore the perfume that my gran used to wear, and it instantly just takes you back. So the whole point of an anchor is that it anchors you in an experience that can then be recreated in the future. So as soon as I learned this technique and learned how to utilise it, me and David started choosing one song that we would play every single day when we were on holiday. And really, whilst we were listening to the song and we were on holiday, we made sure we were soaking up, you know, all of the sights and the sounds and the smells of being on holiday, so that when we came home and we replayed that song, it immediately casts you back. And it has, you know, the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of sound, has this incredible capacity to transport us instantaneously to another state. Okay, so whilst we're going into this calm state this evening, I am going to encourage you to anchor the state, which means you're going to be able to really easily access it in the future. So the anchor that we're going to use today is with one hand. I want you to either press down with a finger or a thumb just on some part of your hand that is easily accessible. So for me, I quite like just that padded bit there between your thumb. You might choose to just hold a knuckle. It might be the inside of your wrist there. But I want you to have a point that feels solid and good for you so that you can anchor this experience. And what's going to happen is that once I've taken you into the calm place, I'm going to ask you to anchor it. So I'm going to ask you to press down on your point, and I want you to hold and anchor that experience to you for a few seconds and then release. And then when we come back down into this place, whenever you then feel like you need to access that calm, doesn't matter where you are, you could be stood in the middle of a supermarket, you could be in the middle of your house and the kids are going crazy. Literally, you'll be then able to press this point and it will induce that state within you. Okay, it's really powerful. So that's what we're going to do today. So, are you ready? So we're going to go into literally just 10 minutes of a journey now. It's super powerful, this journey, and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you. So just make sure you're comfortable, and this is the part now where you don't need to see me. You're going to be closing your eyes, so if it's more comfortable for you to just lie down and just listen to me, then that's absolutely fine. So I want you to just get yourself comfortable, and I want you to close your eyes, and I just want you to take a nice deep breath in for me. Just breathe in and breathe out. So I want you to focus on taking a nice deep breath in and breathing out. Focus on making that out breath slightly longer. So breathing in and breathing out. Okay, I want you to stay in this relaxed place. I want you to just listen to my voice now and allow yourself to get carried away. So keep your eyes closed, and I just want you to quietly in your own mind repeat the following intention. I am going on a journey to find my place of calm. I'm going on a journey to find my place of calm. I'm going on a journey to find my place of calm. And I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to ground yourself in the here and now. I want you to bring your awareness to wherever you are sitting or lying, what that feels like to have your body rested against the chair or the bed. I want you to bring your awareness to what you can hear. If there's any smells, any sounds, just bring your awareness to the very room that you are in at the moment. And now I want you to imagine that you are beginning to float. So you're beginning to float upwards towards the ceiling. And as you're floating upwards towards the ceiling, you're looking down and you can see the rest of the room. You become aware of the furniture, if there's anybody else there, anything else, the decoration. You're becoming aware of what is in the room as you're above it. And you can feel that you're being pulled higher and higher. So you continue to rise up as you go through the ceiling and you find yourself on the roof of the house or the flat or wherever you are right now. So you keep floating upwards and upwards as the world starts becoming smaller and smaller underneath you. You keep floating higher and higher. It's a really gentle, comfortable feeling. You're aware that the higher you float, the lighter you feel. Right now, if there's anything that seems to be weighing you down or you want to get rid of, you just let that go and you just watch it fall. And as you keep floating higher and higher, the houses start to become smaller underneath you. It's like they're appearing as small dots now as you keep floating higher and higher in the sky. You find yourself now as high as the clouds as you go through the clouds and you discover this whole world above them. And as you keep floating higher and higher and you feel yourself being gently pulled higher and higher, you feel light. You feel like there's a sense of freedom. It feels comfortable. You feel safe. And as you look down, everything is so tiny now as you enter the greater universe. You keep going higher and higher until you leave the Earth's atmosphere and you find yourself in space surrounded by stars. There's a real sense of wonderment and magic. And you keep going higher still as you expand and rise up above the solar system. And you keep floating higher and higher into whole new worlds and realms. And now you float through what feels like another layer of cloud. And as you come up through this layer of cloud, you can feel it wash over you, as though it is absolutely cleansing every part of you as you come up through this cloud. And as you emerge from this cloud, you are struck by the immense beauty in front of you. It's like a whole world of fluffy clouds. It's full of pastel pinks and yellows and whites, and it's almost shimmery and sparkly. It feels like it's like a giant marshmallow and candy floss, where you just feel like you can be free. And as you look around this place, I want you to ask yourself what you need in order for this to be the most loving, peaceful, calm place for you right now. And just allow whatever comes just to kind of filter through. It may be that you see people. It may be that there's animals or rivers or beaches. Just allow yourself to walk through and explore this whole amazing magical realm that you've discovered, that is literally full of all the things that you need right now to give you that amazing sense of calm and peace and absolute unconditional love. Don't judge, don't force, don't judge what comes and rises up for you here. Just allow it to be. And you might find that things come and go, and that's fine. And as you walk through and explore this realm, I want you to imagine now that you've got a dial. And if we were to turn this dial up to maximum brightness, maximum love, maximum peace, what would that look like for you? How vivid and bright would those colours be? How full of love would you feel? How amazing would this sense of peace be? And I really want you to focus on cranking that up to be the most it could possibly be right now. Okay? And when you feel like that it's at your absolute maximum, that you feel really soothed and full of love, I want you to press your anchor point. Keep your eyes closed, keep in this place and hold your anchor point. Keep focused on turning up that intensity, making it as bright as possible. Listen to the sounds, really see the colours and everything that's in front of you. Feel the softness of the clouds around you and anchor that to that point right now. Amazing. Okay, so release the anchor point, keeping your eyes closed, keep in this place. And I want you to imagine now that all of the fluffy clouds, everything that's around you, this whole amazing realm that you've discovered is here for you. So I want you to scoop up all the clouds that you're in, and I want you to imagine that you're washing yourself all over with them. Okay, a bit like the bubbles on a bubble bath. So really get in there, get loads and loads of, get handfuls and handfuls, and literally cover yourself in these bubbles, in these clouds. And I want you to scoop up 2 massive armfuls, and I want you to just hold that close to you. Really focus on the pink, the love, the yellow. Focus on the colours and just really hold that close to you. And now we're going to float our way slowly back down. So you have got your clouds, you've got your bubbles, you've got armfuls of them, and you're going to bring that down with you. So I want you to just slowly now imagine that you're falling through the cloud of this amazing realm, and you're looking down now on the solar system and the universe, and you're floating down and floating down, and you're still covered in the amazing love that the cloud and that realm has given you, and you've got armfuls of it. And as you float down and you start entering our universe and our solar system, and you become aware of the planets, and as you float further down and you become aware of the earth and the stars, and you float further down still as you start entering the Earth's atmosphere, and you float down even more as you go through the Earth's clouds, and as you begin to make out the tiny dots of buildings and towns and cities. And right now I want you to start imagining that you're opening up your arms, and you are gradually releasing all of that love and that peace and that calm out into the world. And as you float down, you see all of these tiny, tiny droplets of that love and that peace and that calm that you have discovered and you've brought with you. You are watching as that falls and that scatters across the whole world. And as you keep falling and as you keep floating down, you begin to see the towns as they become closer, and as you fall down further, you make out the houses and the individual streets, and you can see all of this amazing particles that are coming down. It's very shimmery, it's very sparkly, and you're witnessing that land all over the world, all over your community, all over the people that you love and care about. And now as you float down and you float back into where you are right now, the building that you're in, I want you to keep floating down further to bring you back into the room that we started. And I want you to become aware of what it feels like to be back in this room. So what does the chair or the bed feel like that's supporting you right now? How does it feel? What can you smell? What can you hear? What can you touch? Just make sure that you are back here now in this room. And you're back here in this room, still covered in your cloud. That's still covered you from head to toe. And you're aware that you are in this place of peace and love and calmness that you've been able to access and is there for you anytime you need it. There is endless amounts of love and calm and joy in that realm waiting for you, and you know that you have got that anytime that you need it. So I want you to very slowly now begin to open your eyes. Just take a deep breath in, just wiggle about, bring yourself back into the room, back into the space that we're in. And if you would like to share how that was for you, what that realm was like, whether there was any hidden gems there for you, then please do. Likewise, it's an incredibly personal thing, so if you don't want to share, that's absolutely fine, or if you'd rather just drop me a message, that is absolutely fine as well. But I just want to share with you the power of this exercise, because like I mentioned at the beginning, everything is energy, okay? So we are like when you drop a stone into a pond and it creates that ripple effect. Whenever you do anything like this, there is a ripple effect, okay? So you have been to this higher realm, you have accessed this love and this peace and this calmness, and you have brought that back down with you, and you have covered the earth with it. And that is powerful. That feeds the collective love, connected energy within the world. Right now, because of the exercise we've just done, you have been part of that. And just don't underestimate the value of that. You know, I get that right now you might be feeling pretty powerless or not in control of a lot of things, and I really want to remind you that you are immensely powerful, okay? This work is immensely powerful. You being here and accessing that love and sending that out to the world and giving it to yourself is powerful. It's literally creating that ripple effect out into the world. So I'm aware I don't want to go over time, just in case you need to be off. So I hope that this session this evening has given you an insight into the energetics of part of what's going on at the moment. And how you can play a part in that, not just for yourself, but for the wider community and the world. And I will be back with you over the next few days to share with you specific techniques specifically for anxiety. We have amazing techniques for that. And also, if you're dealing with difficult situations at the moment, how you can almost like how you can fast forward and concentrate on a positive outcome rather than a negative one. So there's a few techniques there that we're going to look at. But in the meantime, thank you for being here. Please keep coming back to this experience. One thing to say about the anchor point is if you keep on using it and don't top it back up again, you will wear it out, funnily enough. So a great thing to do is keep coming back to this exercise that we've done today. So literally keep travelling up to that higher realm, top yourself up, re-anchor it, and then come back down again. So the more that you keep on anchoring and strengthening, the more powerful this will be. Okay, but if you were to not do this exercise again and then keep using this anchor point, you would eventually wear it out. So just a side note on that one. And yeah, I'd love to hear how you've got on, how you found this exercise, whether you now feel like you've been welcomed into a place of peace and tranquility, and how you have your own place of peace that you can access at any time, regardless of what else is going on in the world, and actually how you can influence and bring love and calm into the world and those around you as well. So enjoy your evening, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow to go through the anxiety technique with you. Bye for now.